We were very amazed and we regret this step, frankly speaking. I know that there will be official communication from Moscow in this regard, so I wouldn't go into much detail, but we think that it was a mistake. And we regret that there was a pressure on Secretary General from the part of the countries that really don't want to bring peace to Syria. Vasily expressed our position in detail during the last meeting. We thought that it was quite reasonable and clear, but somehow there was a pressure, and we still need to know the detail. I myself saw this statement in the morning, and it came a little bit unexpected. I wouldn't conceal this. So
investigation is not a right path to find the results.
It depends whether he has the prerogatives to set up this board or not. We have a lot of doubts and questions whether he has such rights. Not a case of investigation, but you know there have been investigations before, and we gave our assessment of such investigations. There is a lot of fake news about this, a lot of fake situations, like the recent ones. So we doubt very much that this is for the sake of investigation. This is for the sake of blaming Syria and Russia of the things that we do not do. It's again about the notorious white helmets. We exposed them several times, but, well, it's like Alice in Nowhere Land, you know.
So what do you suggest, Ambassador? What do you suggest to be done to clear out the truth?
We suggest not to invent artificial reality, to judge by facts, and we really cited facts and concrete information about what has happened and what hasn't happened. And we think that the sources of such information should be trustworthy on the ground and not for people sitting somewhere far away. Again, we several times in detail exposed white helmets. We explained why we do not trust this organization. We think that the evidence should be taken on the ground. In our statement of Ministry of Defense, we indicated concrete information about the claims that were made. But if we invent the truth all the time, invent fake news, so I don't know whether it will help settlement or not. It's a very decisive moment now in Syria. We are on the eve of the launch of Constitutional Committee, and of course there are a lot of forces that are not interested in peace in Syria, that just want to keep pressure on Syrian government, on legitimate Syrian government, and they want to undermine any efforts for settlement. So we're afraid that this might be one of such attempts.
Is Russia going to cooperate? Is Russia going to cooperate?
Will Russia cooperate, Ambassador, in the investigation?
We need to find out whether he has legal reasons to set up this board, first and foremost. I don't know. It's very difficult to comment at this time. Again, I advise all of you to wait a little bit because there will be official communication from Russian Foreign Ministry. It's being prepared right now. So I will not go into further details, but the tone will be as I reflected to you.
Could this board's work and investigation impede any forward movement on the Constitutional Committee and efforts to end the Syrian conflict?
If it's invented to do this, of course it will impede this movement. Of course it will help those who don't want, as I told you, peace in Syria and don't want peaceful settlement. So this might be a very deplorable development. We need to find out and understand better.
Ambassador, the Secretary General said under Article 97 of the Charter he has the mandate to call for this internal. Well, tell us how you see it.
I think it's about the fact that he is the superior administrative officer of the United Nations. So I don't know. I don't see any direct indications there for setting up of any boards.
Ambassador, on DPRK, they're accused again of violating Security Council resolutions by firing short-range ballistic missiles. Do you think the Council should take any action?
We still have very little information, and well, was it ballistic missile or not ballistic missile? What was the launch? How many were launched? So we try to base our position on trustworthy sources and on information that can be verified. I think that there will be a discussion, we will exchange information, we will listen to our colleagues, but I don't think that we should rush to any conclusions through this.
And just a follow-up on Iran, what do you think the Americans are trying to achieve by sanctioning Zarif?
Sometimes to get into the heads of the Americans. If I could do this, of course, some of my comments would have been more interesting to you, but it remains an enigma. Like woman's mind, sometimes Americans' minds are very, mysterious.
What is Russia doing?
Ambassador, can I ask you?
Sorry.
Ambassador, can I ask you about? I know my colleagues asked you about the tensions in the Persian Gulf. There's a proposal by the UK to start have an international naval force there. What is Russia's position about this? Do you think it's a good idea?
We think that there should be some de-escalation of situation there. We presented our strategy. I don't know whether you're aware of this or not. It was distributed as official document of Security Council, and I encourage all of you to read it, and you will find a lot of answers in this strategy. You will not find anything about British initiative. It is much more deep and thoughtful than this.
What is Russia doing to save the Iran nuclear deal?
Everything
Name
possible.
5 things that you're doing.
5 things.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I will not say it by naming, and it depends not only on Russia, but Russia is doing everything. We stick to our agreement and to our promises. I don't think anyone can reproach Russia of not doing enough. Maybe you should ask the same question to the Americans. Could they do a single thing, to name a single thing to save this deal? So yeah.
On that, the U.S. just announced that it will extend the waivers for Russia to help Iran with its non-military nuclear program. Do you have any comment on that?
We don't need any waivers to cooperate with Iran. We are an independent country. Iran is an independent country, so we don't need to ask for authorization for anyone. It's up to US to waive or not to waive. That's the question. Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, thank you.
Thank you.